Hey guys, happy Monday. It's Joe, and it's time for a Pikkit with Joe. It's Monday, April 3rd. I cannot believe how fast the year is going. We have 3 games on the ice today, and these games are important ones for all of these teams playing tonight. So definitely not games that we have to question. If their hearts are in these games, everyone's heart's going to be in the games tonight. So let's try to break these down. Big shout out to you, Matt. Thanks for being here today. And big sis Lisa. Absolutely, that game between the Wild and the Vegas Golden Knights is going to be actually where we kick off tonight's schedule. It's kicking off at 8 o'clock Eastern with the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Wild. Now, this one is so important for both of these teams, both looking to capture their division, with the Vegas Golden Knights sitting first at the moment in the Pacific, Minnesota Wild sitting first in the Central. Now looking at the odds at the moment, we're seeing Vegas at plus 115, Minnesota Wild at minus 135. Total is now at 5.5. Now there are some 6s out there, so if you like that under, make sure you go out and find the 6. And if you like the under or the over, definitely grab that 5.5. Now in this matchup, I do think we're going to see a really lower scoring one. So I already got it at the 6. You're going to pay a little bit more juice. It was minus 120 for the 6 a couple hours ago. And I do think that is the right way to go. I think we have playoff intensity here. I do think this one has the opportunity to go to overtime as well. 2 of these games I'm looking at going to overtime today on this short card. So this is one of them with the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Wild. We did just see this matchup on Saturday, and Vegas got an outstanding win. It was a 4-1 win. Now, their goalie was in Saturday, and he saved 29 of 30 shots on goal. We're going to need an absolutely outstanding showing by him again today to beat the Minnesota Wild on their home ice. And now when we look at the Wild here in this matchup, Gustafsson is confirmed in goal. Now, he had an absolutely outstanding game versus the Colorado Avalanche in his last game out. He will do phenomenal as well. So I'm expecting really strong goaltending in this one. Playoff intensity. I do think this is a 2-2 going into overtime. So that is where I'm betting with this one. Now, looking at these two teams with how they played on Saturday, I know Vegas was at home in that one, got a 4-1 win. Rolling in here to Minnesota, it is harder for them to pull off the win again. Now, Minnesota at minus 135, I don't think has any value. I do think Vegas could get a repeat win here, as long as their goalie comes out and absolutely stands on his head in this one. Now, this is the first leg of a back-to-back for the Vegas Golden Knights. They do have the Predators on deck tomorrow. They've dominated this matchup. I can't take the Wild here. I would have to take Vegas if I was taking a side. It's not my favorite bet of this game. The favorite bet of this game is just taking it under that 6. Again, shop those lines. If you like the 5.5, hit it over. But I like the under in this one, and I'm going to take it under the total of 5.5. Now, there has been home ice advantage between these two. The home team winning 6 of the last 7, and yes, we do have the sudden revenge factor for the Minnesota Wild. I'm just not buying into it. I really do think Vegas can get this win. I think they are the stronger overall team here over the Minnesota Wild. And with how they dominated on Saturday with a 4-1 win, even if this one was closer, I'd be looking more at the Wild. But I don't think that they can pull off this win. I do think this one goes to Vegas. Vegas has been so strong. They've won 12 of their last 16 overall. The Wild have gone 4-1 in that home-and-home situation where they did jump back into their home state arena after losing the game on the road versus the same team. So they are strong in this case. They normally do bounce back, but I'm not seeing it. I think the best bet is to go to OT. I do think these two keep battling it out, and for this one to stay under the total. Johnny liking the Knights team total under. Game of the week is definitely the Flames and the Jets. Oh my God, Joe, I'm going to be holding my breath for that one for sure. Going to need to have a nice bottle of wine by my side when I watch my Calgary Flames this week. Let's look at the next game here on the board, you guys. We've only got 3 today. So the next one is the Nashville Predators taking on the Dallas Stars. Again, another game that has the prime opportunity to go to overtime. Another game that I think you have to ride the under 6 in. I do think we have playoff intensity here as we have the battle of the Central. Now, the Nashville Predators are 5th in the Central. The Dallas Stars 3rd in the Central. The Preds need every single win they can get, and they've got a very hard schedule ahead of them. This is their first leg of a back-to-back. They will be facing the Vegas Golden Knights tomorrow at home. So they've got this road game here ahead of them before taking on Vegas. They need this win. Saros is expected here for the Nashville Predators, and Scott Wedgwood confirmed here for the Dallas Stars. Now, both of these teams are strong teams. We've seen the Predators really doing well as of late, making that push for a playoff spot. They got the win over the Blues on Saturday. They put up a ton of goals. They put up 6 goals and only allowed 1 to the St. Louis Blues. I think grabbing the Predators here plus 1.5 at minus 145 absolutely screams value. Again, this game to go to overtime and the under 6 are all in play. Back in December, when this wasn't playoff intensity for these two, we did see the 3-2 win there for the Dallas Stars. I expect a very similar game. I do see a 2-2 going into OT in this one as well. The Dallas Stars just sitting right there in the Central. They're tied with the Colorado Avalanche. So this team wants this win for sure here tonight. They're minus 195 on the money line. They might win it, but I'm not laying minus 195. And I also will not be shocked if the Predators come out and get this win. They need to pick it up. I do think the under is the best way to go in this one as well. When we look at the Stars, they have struggled at home. They've only won 3 of their last 11 home games. So I think the Preds have more drive. I think the Preds have more to lose by losing this game as well. And yes, I do think we're going to get the best effort out of the Stars. But I do think the defense of the Predators shows up in this one, keeps it tight, keeps it under that total. And yeah, that's where I'm going. Happy Monday to you as well, Chris. Thank you for being here today. I apologize for not going live over the weekend, you guys. I was so swamped with my Sports Grid shows. So hopefully you caught some of the bets over there. And then by the time I got done that, it was just too late to do Pikkit and expect any of you to be watching later on a Saturday and Sunday afternoon. So my apologies. The next game and the last game on the board, we have the Arizona Coyotes taking on the Seattle Kraken. Now, this is one of those games where we do have the Arizona Coyotes rolling in again as the dog. Now, they haven't covered the puck line in the last couple for us, and that's been really disappointing to see. But I do think we can ride with the Arizona Coyotes again on that puck line at plus 1.5. We still have some value there. The Seattle Kraken come into this. They did win the last game March 22nd between these two, 4-2. They're a $3 favorite in this, and I don't love that price on the Seattle Kraken here. This total's high at 6.5, but rightly so. We know the Arizona Coyotes give up so many opportunities for their opponents to score those goals, and I do think that they continue to give up those opportunities here. And now the Seattle Kraken are sitting 4th in the Pacific. They're absolutely fighting as the Jets and Calgary sitting right below them with points. The Kraken do not want to start a big losing streak. They need this win absolutely here. Now, my concern here with the Seattle Kraken is tomorrow's slate. So they will face the Vancouver Canucks tomorrow in Vancouver. So they have a road trip on deck. Now, I do think they get the win. I think they desperately need this win. But I think the Arizona Coyotes do what they've done best this season and pull off a game that is almost an upset. I do think they keep this one tight. I do think grabbing them plus the 1.5 is the right way to go. Now, they have to face each other again on Thursday in Seattle again. The Arizona Coyotes are staying in Seattle. They're not facing any other opponents between today, which is Monday, and Thursday, but the Seattle Kraken do have to face Vancouver tomorrow. So that look-ahead spot I'm looking at the first period in this one. I do like the first period over 1.5. It's juiced at minus 140, but I do think it's a solid way to go. Now, we know the Arizona Coyotes have been helping us with those both teams to score. We're going to get beautiful plus money. I think it's worth a sprinkle on both teams to score in the first period. We see the Arizona Coyotes off an embarrassing loss at home. They lost to the San Jose Sharks, you guys. Just not a team you want to lose to. The Seattle Kraken lost the last game on Saturday to the LA Kings as well, 3-1. I'm expecting both these teams to come out hot out of the gate, both score a goal. So you look at the both teams to score, you're going to get plus money, but the over 1.5, I think, is the safer way to go at minus 140 in case one of these teams comes out flat in the first period, trying to play a stronger defensive game, but I'm not buying it. I do think this game goes up and over the total. 4-3 game in this one. We got strong trends to that over between these two as well, with the Coyotes last 4 going over the total. The Kraken, 5 of their last 7 home games going over, and on one day's rest, they are 6-2-1 in the last 9 to the over. So expecting a higher scoring one, which leads me to that first period. Those goals coming in as both goalies and defenses make those mistakes early. Now, if you're looking for an anytime goal scorer for the Arizona Coyotes, you guys know we got to keep on Clayton Keller. He's been making us money hand over fist, and I do like him here in this one. I don't care that they've lost their last 7. I don't see them pulling off the upset, but I do think the Arizona Coyotes keep it tight. Seattle's team total over 3.5, definitely a very solid way to look here. We know the Arizona Coyotes give up so many chances for these opponents to score on them. They're allowing 35.3 shots on goal per game, which is just not solid defense. They're averaging that allowed 3.57 or 3.51 goals per game, and the Seattle Kraken average 3.45. So that's 3.51 allowed goals per game by the Arizona Coyotes, 3.45 goals per game for the Seattle Kraken. So I do like that. I do think there is value. Johnny's going to ride the Preds on the puck line, the Arizona Coyotes on the puck line, and the Knights on the puck line. Definitely a great way to go. I think all games tonight are 1-goal games. So I absolutely love it, Johnny. No value on the Kraken on the money line, not at all. We can't even say release the Kraken today. So Dallas's team total under. I do like that look. I think it is a great one here. Kev, let's make some freaking money together today. So you guys, Chris, you know what? Seattle is kind of all over the place with who I like for goal scorers out of the Seattle Kraken. There's no one on that team that I really, not that I don't trust them, but that I look at and say, okay, this is who I'm going to take for a goal scorer. So I normally avoid goal scorers for the Seattle Kraken just because of that. I don't see that name that I look at and I go, okay, I think he's going to get the goal, where I do with a lot of other teams. So, you know, if I was looking at anyone, let's look at Jared McCann versus the Coyotes and see what numbers we can get on him. He's had an assist. He had an assist in the last game versus the Coyotes. I don't know. You could look at him for his assist tonight. Let's see if we're getting any value on McCann here. For points and assists, Jared McCann, he's minus 340. He only recorded 1 last time. I wouldn't look at him here. It's really hard. I swear with the Seattle Kraken. I just don't trust them enough here for that one key player to get those goals. Yeah, David, if everyone could hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Kraken in regulation. That is a nice one. You're going to take the under 6.5 with the Dallas Stars and the Predators. I do like that. If you're getting a 6.5, that's phenomenal. I got the under 6 in that. You'd even take the Kraken on the puck line. Shauna's having a lot of faith, but I wish you all the best. I do think Arizona might be able to keep that one tight. Stevenson under 0.5 point, David. Interesting way to go with that one. That's not one thing. It's one thing I probably should do more is looking at these players for their under in their points. and not registering a goal, everything like that. But it's just something that I can't get behind. It's like I love betting unders until the game kicks off, and then I'm just panicked the whole game. A lot of people have the opposite mentality where is you got the over, you're losing from as soon as that game comes out of the gate. But I don't like that. I stress with the unders. Kev, I like your Vegas on the money line. They should be able to repeat. I really do think they are the more dominant team, the Minnesota Wild, just not a team that I trust. Okay, you guys, let's recap and let's build a parlay here. The Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Minnesota Wild. I'm with Kev. I really do think Vegas can get this win. I'll probably sprinkle on it with that plus money. I think this one is an absolute battle. I think we go to overtime in this game, and I think it's going to be 2-2 going into OT. So take the under 6 if you like the under with me. If you like the over, there are 5.5s out there, and so look for that. But I do think this is going to be an absolutely crazy game. I'd look at both goalies, save shots on goal. I would take those to the over. We know both these teams are going to get that ability to get those shots on goal. Both of these teams are allowing right around 31 shots on goal per game. Goaltending is needed at a max in this one. So I would take both goalies, save shots on goal to the over. I would take this game to go to overtime and the under 6. So in the parlay, I'll take Vegas and the Wild under 6 for the parlay. The Nashville Predators and the Dallas Stars. I love the Preds here, plus 1.5. I think they have every ability to keep this tight, if not pull off the upset. I might sprinkle a little bit on the Predators at plus 165. And I know the Dallas Stars are fighting for a lot as well, but the Preds have so much pressure on them right now. They need to get this win. The schedule isn't getting any easier as we look at it ahead of them here going into the playoffs. So they need to get this win, start the week off right. I'm going to take them plus the Preds plus 1.5 for the parlay, which is coming in at minus 145. I think the under 6 is the way to go. If you can get 6.5, even better in this game. I think this is playoff style hockey right here. We've got defenses standing up. I would look at both goalies. Their save shots on goal, especially for the Nashville Predators. I really do think the Wild are going to come really hard, but I think the Preds have every opportunity with Saros in goal to defend that net. So battle the Central, you guys. It's going to be absolutely insane. Look for that one to go to OT as well. And then the Arizona Coyotes taking on the Seattle Kraken. You guys, I do think this is one where we actually see the goals come in between these two teams. And Arizona should be able to keep this one tight. It's not my best bet, my favorite bet, but I do think the Coyotes plus the 1.5 is a solid way to go. I think the over 1.5 is my favorite in this. That's coming in at minus 140, and the over 6.5 for the full game. Clayton Keller, again, I'm going to look at him for that anytime goal as well. I worry with the Kraken with Vancouver on deck tomorrow. So give me the Coyotes and the Kraken for the first period. First period over 1.5 at minus 140 for the parlay. So you guys, that long shot parlay is Vegas and the Wild under 6, the Predators plus 1.5, and the Coyotes and the Kraken first period over 1.5. Now, I do like Johnny's look of taking all these dogs plus 1.5 tonight. I think it is a very solid way to go. I also really like the opportunity to make some really good plus money with taking Vegas on the money line and the Predators on the money line. I do think both of those dogs have the opportunity to pull off the win. So you guys, thanks so much for joining me here on A Pocket with Joe. We will be back tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern. And I hope we make some money tonight. We're going to make some more money tomorrow. I would sprinkle on, actually, you know what? I don't know. I don't know if the Coyotes, we know how many games the Coyotes have pushed to OT. I think I'm going to take a chance. And did you hear that? My Chihuahua just started her little growl bark. It was a tiny one. I think it's a sign the Coyotes might be live to push this one to OT. I'm going to take all 3 of these games. I'm going to sprinkle on all 3 to go to OT. I think we definitely hit the two earlier ones. If the Coyotes end up pushing the Kraken to OT, it would be beautiful to see. We've seen them. You know how many times they push teams to OT, including the Edmonton Oilers, which are phenomenal offensively, and the Coyotes have had the ability to keep up with them. So I do think taking all three to go to OT is worth a sprinkle. I'm going to sprinkle a nice little parlay with it as well, you guys. I don't want to miss out on that plus money just in case. Nice sprinkle there, Kev. I absolutely love it. You are welcome, Joe. Let's make some money, you guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. I do have an NCAA player prop video that is coming out as soon as I record it, so watch for that. You definitely want to jump on board with one player to get these threes on UConn. We know the Aztecs have to go over top if they want to score anything in this one. UConn just so strong at protecting that rim. So watch out for that. That will be up on YouTube and within the next 20 minutes here. You guys have a good one. Keep smiling. Let's make some freaking money. We'll talk to you later.